Welcome to another episode of Whatchu Drinkin. This time we're featuring Hunter McDaniel, a performing and recording artist from one of my old stomping grounds, Southwest Florida. Hunter's style crosses genre boundaries with tracks blending everything from jazz to R&B to reggae and straight piano tracks. I want to make a note that this podcast was recorded before his album actually dropped. It is out now. You can find it on all available music outlets. So with that being said, pour your favorite beverage as we kick back and we start with Hunter performing his song Joyride. Cheers.
Good. Sounds nice.
I've been on the road 8 weeks or more. Feels like I'm selling this door to door. I'm done going hard for the empty floors. Giving all but haven't seen the light till you lit up this little bar tonight. So this ain't a trick, no, I can treat you right. As soon as I sing the final notes, just meet me at the back door. It's time for me to get lost. I never even liked this town for a minute. I don't need to send it off. Said you're the kind of girl that I'm thinking I could roll with. So baby, can we smoke this? We'll blow this joint. Take a joyride with me. Bet we're driving till the morning. 'Cause I know that you love it. And flying with the top down, the fast lane, small town. Live like you want, kid. 'Cause you're a flower in the mud and you know it, babe. I can help you get the fuck out this place. Ditching the dice for the big stage. But for now it's all yeah. So maybe at the back door, it's time for me to get lost. Said I'd never even liked this town for a minute. I don't need to send it all. But you're the kind of girl that I'm thinking I could roll with. So baby, can we smoke this? We'll blow this joint. Take a joyride with me. We'll take a joyride. Yeah. Take a joyride, baby. So I think I've got a right to know if you'll come or let me go. I'm leaving on the 404 because I can't take this anymore. No. So maybe at the back door, it's time for me to get lost. I never even liked this town for a minute. I don't need to send it off. So you're the kind of girl that I'm looking I can roll with. Said, baby, can we smoke this? We'll blow this joint. We'll take a joyride with me. Take a joyride. We'll take a joyride. Yeah. I said, take a joyride with me. Nice.
Hunter, welcome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yeah, no problem.
So, let's learn about you. When did you start performing live?
You know, I actually started performing live sophomore year of high school. I kind of started like improvising on piano. I was getting to a point on piano where I felt confident enough to kind of walk into this like restaurant that I knew had a piano, and I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I like just sit down and start playing, like, you know, and see what happens, put out a tip jar?" And luckily they let me. I was just kind of just a kid, but after that first like kind of audition performance. They let me just show up every Wednesday. So pretty much through high school, I was playing like at least once a week, playing a little bit of piano and just kind of learning, mostly instrumental, but not singing yet.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's quite a bit more difficult to do both.
for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't start like singing and playing until the last couple years though, because of
Okay.
COVID. Moved
Yeah.
back home and started getting gigs and realizing that not all gigs are instrumental gigs. Like you gotta, people want to hear songs.
Oh,
So
you know, like a front man, obviously.
exactly.
But you were doing solo things at first, correct?
Yeah, I've been playing like solo instrumental piano for a long time.
Yeah. I went back and went over your musical catalog, and it's really good.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm into everything. I love all kinds of music, and I'm just out here to learn more and explore. Like that's my purpose as a musician. So,
Did you ever have any professional training?
I didn't really have any training until later on in high school. I was really
Okay.
into jazz, so I asked a local jazz musician if he would give me a couple lessons. So he kind of taught me like just the theory behind jazz and a little bit of like just giving me the right CDs to listen to. Um, but not like a whole lot of technical training until I got to college and I actually studied like jazz piano and music composition.
Oh, wow.
And that was like my first real like lessons and like any kind of like formal training.
That's cool.
But yeah, just a couple years in college, really.
That's cool. Where did you go to college at?
Florida State.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, they have a great music program. It was,
You were telling me you grew up where at? Tallahassee area?
so I grew up in Naples, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
yeah.
you're back to your hometown these days.
I'm back home. Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in Tallahassee for 5 years and then COVID happened and I actually was trying to move to Nashville like right at the beginning of COVID, like right there in that March, that early couple weeks in March. And I was up there looking at apartments and realized I should probably like wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
And so that's why I ended up back in Naples. And honestly, there's a lot of gigs here, so I've been pretty busy ever since.
On your schedule, yeah, you're playing almost every night, right?
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More nights than
Very
not.
grateful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up. The music scene in Southwest Florida, because I lived down in Fort Myers for 5 years. There
Yeah.
is always shows to play.
It's crazy, man. Wherever you look.
Yeah.
I mean, we're super lucky. We just have that. We live in this bubble of like wealth that
Yeah.
these restaurants and bars can afford to pay people, you know, and really a living wage if you do it a couple nights a week. And that's pretty rare in most of the country, from what I understand.
It is. I'm actually from St. Louis, and most of the people I know that play small gigs or opening gigs, like they still have to have normal jobs, unless they.
Yeah, man.
But by the time they don't have to, then they're well known.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed Southwest Florida, a lot of people I knew, like they just were able to quit their job and they just play music.
It's pretty crazy. It's almost like I feel like it's not always going to be this good. So I'm really just trying to take every day and like not take it for granted and like be grateful for, you know, while the getting's good, because people may find out eventually and it may get a little too overcrowded and then restaurants will be like, well, maybe I can just pay half as much.
Well, if they appreciate the artist enough, I don't think they'll backtrack on that too much.
That's a good point. If you're quality, you know, people know your worth for sure.
Right. Before we talk about the new album, we're going to go ahead and splice in one of your original music videos, Real This Time.
Nice.
After this, Hunter McDaniel.
Oh, yeah.
You've been making me feel like I'm chasing some kind of imposter. But I wish you'd get real so I don't have to make up your mind. I was driving you late Friday night. You looked as good as you ever did. You confessed that you were lonely. Wish we never tried to be friends. You wanna be in love, where's the evidence? I'm waiting on the words that you're reticent to say, look, cry. No, you said you want this, baby, gotta try. Nothing on the side that feels wrong, then it's a solo flight. You wanna be in love, where's the evidence? I'm waiting for the words, but you're reticent. There ain't nothing to sign, just look me in the eyes and say it's real this time. Yeah, say it's real this time. Oh. You only get 1 second chance. I won't go round and round again. No, you only get 1 second chance. You gotta show me something, something said. You only get 1 second chance. You won't get, I won't go round and round again. No, you only get 1 second chance. You won't get one. Gotta show me something, something said. You wanna be in love? Where's the evidence? I'm waiting for the words, but you're reticent. Just look me in the eyes, don't hang me out to dry. Say it's real this time. Say the words, but say it's real this time. Yeah, yeah. They say it's real this time.
So where do you,
We'll
were
jump
you
back
living
in.
here for like for a couple years down here, or?
I lived there. I moved down to Southwest Florida in 2018.
Uh-huh.
Had my own place in the shores, and then right before COVID, like when everything got shut down, because I was bartending.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't sign another lease. I ended up buying a 40-foot older yacht from my parents and like just rented out space on our seawall. So I kind of got to hunker down during COVID, you know,
Hell yeah.
because I was working at a cottage bar in Shuckers,
Where's that?
Fort Myers Beach. It's like
Oh
right
yeah.
next to
Okay.
Lani Kai. Well, it used to be. They're rebuilding it.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a
Yeah.
great place. Live music 7 days a week.
Man, that's the time to party. That whole, I bet that was like the good old days of Fort Myers Beach, man.
Yeah. I go down to Naples actually every Christmas to see family
Hmm.
on my fiance's side. But yeah, we're already talking about going to Sugarshack whenever in Bonita whenever we go down there. So how did you land to that?
Man, Sugarshack is I moved to Bonita like a year or two ago. I found an apartment that was actually like livable in Naples. There was really nothing. And so I ended up moving up here, and just because I'm like friends with a bunch of people, a bunch of other musicians in the area, somebody had recommended me for somebody needed a piano player for their Sugarshack session,
Right.
and his name was Bryce Ivy, and he has his band Sun State Blues, and he actually works for Sugarshack. So he reached out to me. He was like, "Hey man, we would love to have you as our piano player on this session, and are you available?" It was a couple months out, and I was like, "Yeah, I can do that for sure." And so we rehearsed, and I basically showed up for my first Sugarshack and met a bunch of people, and ever since then, that was last February, and now I've been on 3 different shack sessions with like different bands that, it's good to be a piano player sometimes because there's not a lot of us. So,
Not playing the quality you do.
no, I appreciate it. But yeah, man, I mean, we, as long as you do a good job, usually you get invited back. So I've just been hanging out, and honestly, I live like 2 minutes from Sugarshack downtown. So
Oh, wow.
I go there all the time. I go to the other people's shows, and I've just been playing there a lot with various groups since they've opened. All those guys are really nice. I mean, they're all homies. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, man.
Have you ever been to the one? Is it Tampa? Or where's it at?
Is
The other
it
one.
Janice Live, or are you talking about the venue, or like the
I thought they had Sugarshack Sessions somewhere near Tampa as well.
They did a pop up thing at
Oh,
Reggae Rise Up. every year.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
do like they're like one of the main stages at Reggae Rise Up, which is sick. You've got like the main stage, the smaller main stage, and then Sugarshack is like one of the venues that these internationally touring artists literally come through and play on the Sugarshack stage. And
See, that's how I learned about the whole
yeah,
session was on YouTube, just like flipping
uh-huh.
through because I listen to a lot of reggae. Um,
Yeah,
and I started seeing that, and then how I found you was actually mutual friends on Facebook. I'm not sure who
uh-huh.
exactly it is. I know a lot of the musicians down there from working the bars,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Oh wow, this guy's good." And then you pop up another video, and you're actually playing the session. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
man. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm like slowly working on hopefully getting my own session later this year. I'm working on like a collection of songs that I think would be better than what I have already for the sessions. So once I get those together, I'm gonna be like, hey, hopefully we can do a Hunter McDaniel session later this year. Do like
Nice.
a proper, YouTube session. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You still have several things coming up. Like I know you said that you're getting ready to take a break. Are you planning on recording any more music during that?
Yeah, man. I actually, in these like 3 weeks left that I have before I'm taking the summer off, I'm going to be getting in the studio probably 2 or 3 times with a couple different session players. And I have like a whole album kind of that I've been working on in the background that nobody knows about, where the songs are all demoed out. So I really just need to go into the studio and get them laid out with some real instruments. But I'm going to be working on this like R&B hip hop jazz album that hopefully will be coming out later this year.
Nice.
So after these couple of sessions, I'll probably do a session or two over the summer. But for the most part, I'm going to be like out of town, just writing and preparing for more, albums in the fall. Once I get back, I'll be like in like full on recording mode. So
I saw you went up to Colorado. Did you play when you were up there? Or was that just a getaway?
yeah, actually, that was kind of all spawned from a wedding invitation for me to play
Oh,
at
nice.
at a friend of mine's wedding out in Winter Park, and they know I play guitar, and they're like, "Well, you can bring your guitar on a plane. You can't really bring a piano." So I
Sure.
brought guitar, and I did like a gig the night before for all the people at the party for the wedding party,
Uh-huh.
and I played like a 2 hour set, and then during the wedding I played a little bit, and yeah, man, it was like basically a paid for vacation out to Winter Park, so I got lucky.
That's awesome. Yeah, I spent
Hmm.
2.5 seasons up in Keystone, Colorado, working at the ski
Oh,
resort there.
hell
So
yeah, that's awesome.
I had to leave. Too many injuries. Wasn't worth being there. I couldn't snowboard anymore.
True, true. It's
But
beautiful though.
yeah, that's where I was at before I went down to Fort Myers.
Oh,
Figured
nice.
that I figured the waves would be a little easier on me than falling, jumping a 10 or 20 foot ramp.
Oh, definitely. Especially the Gulf Coast waves. You got nothing over here.
Yeah, waves are actually a little bigger up in the Panhandle. Well, you've spent some time
Yeah,
up here too.
yeah. You get some quality stuff.
Yeah, I still haven't made it out there yet, but
Oh yeah, man. Got to hit the
so
waves these days.
I was thinking about this. It's gotta be a crazy feeling being playing the same stage as all these great artists that were like inspirational to you.
Hmm.
I had some friends actually that I knew from high school. One was a saxophone player, and they ended up opening for Real Big Fish, eventually 311. And I remember standing in the elevator with him, and I'm like, "How's it feel?" He just got this big smile on his face. He was so
Hmm.
excited for it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, honestly, since I've been playing in this area, like I've tried to find the musicians that just resonate with the way that I play. And
Mm-hmm.
once you find people that play like that and you start playing together, it's kind of like you're speaking a language that only a few of you speak.
Right.
And, since we all just became like really close the last couple of years, and so I kind of have like a network of guys that I trust to play with, and we get it done, man. We play a lot, so.
Awesome. So, your last album was it recorded under a label or was it independent?
That was independent. Yeah, I've been pretty much producing my own stuff the last couple of years. I just have like an engineer producer friend, Caleb Neff, uh, from Cape Coral. He's got like a home studio that has a bunch of vintage instruments, and he really knows what he's doing. So I just go in there and we hash out ideas, and I lay down tracks and pretty much demo everything at home, and then just bring it to him and record, and then put out my stuff as fast as I can, so I can move on to the next thing.
So, what was the inspiration behind the title of the album, Dominoes and Decisions?
So I was writing, it was one of the last songs I actually wrote for this project. I was like, I need one more song that's a little more of like a poppier tempo, like an up-tempo guitar song. So I started playing and was writing out lyrics for it, and I came across this line, Dominoes and Decisions, and it I tried to encompass like the last couple years and all the growing I've been doing, going from living with my parents to having a hurricane ruin our house to having to move out and then sustain this full-time career and try to put out albums while all of this is happening. And I realized that every little decision you make along the way in your life, can lead to huge opportunities, or it can take you on this fork in the road that may or may not be good. And the lines, dominoes and decisions, um, after all these things, every domino and every decision leaves you hanging where you're likely to be found. That's like
No,
so
that makes sense.
I was like, after all these things that have happened, I'm still out here writing, playing music. Like, I love this, and I'll probably always be doing this. But also like be wary of the decisions you make along the way, and try to see them as they're coming. But sometimes you don't have a choice,
Right.
But
Tough
that was
decisions
kind of
sometimes.
yeah. It
So,
seemed like it just kind of wrapped together the themes of the whole album.
right.
So yeah.
What do you think affected the musical scene worse down there, the Hurricane Ian or COVID?
Um, you know, COVID for only a couple months for
Right.
sure. There were some restaurants that were closed down, but after that, COVID actually made this area like a hotspot for people to hang out. Like, so Florida in general and Southwest Florida had so many people move and come here. So it actually brought more money and opportunity for musicians because the restaurants were open anyway, and they're like, "Hey, we're open. Come hang out."
Right.
And so they would hire music, and we'd show up, and we actually made more during COVID sometimes because people were more like supportive with their tips. And but then Hurricane Ian was a whole other thing where it literally destroyed like probably a half dozen or so venues, maybe even more, that us working musicians played at. So I'd say honestly, Ian affected it more because like all those people had to go and start playing at other restaurants, so the competition got a little more serious.
Yeah.
Ian, because there weren't as many places to play, but yeah, COVID was actually good in a lot of ways down here, and not for the rest of the country, but
Right.
we got
Florida was kind of the state where we were left with a lot of freedom compared to other places.
for sure, man. So
I
it's
remember whenever I went out to Nevada briefly, and this was over
oh,
a
you
year
paused a
after
little bit.
COVID, and I got a job at a casino, and
Shit. Hopefully, it's
I
not
was
my
sitting
Wi-Fi.
there at a slot machine, just kind of kicking back, having a drink, and
I'm
I
still
had my
seeing
mask
you
pulled
pause. I don't
down,
know.
and I would smoke. Hold on, looks like there's a connection issue. Oh, it's actually uploading it, so that's cool.
Okay.
It'll just be
Yeah.
2 pieces, which is fine. I splice it anyway.
Yeah.
But what was I saying before that technical difficulty? Yeah, whenever I was in Nevada, like it was such a strange environment.
Mhm.
Reno is right next to California, so their laws were really weird. And I had a security guard come up to me and yell at me in between drags of a cigarette to pull my mask up. And I'm like, what good is that going to do? Like, this is ridiculous.
What?
It's like, yeah, take
Yeah.
me back to Florida. I lasted about 2 months in Reno, and the whole scene was just really odd still.
Yeah, man. It
So,
wasn't the right time for it, apparently.
no, not to be out west.
No, we got lucky down here.
Yeah. There's actually part of that is a lot of reason people left California, it just got too weird.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, for whatever political reasons and health reasons, like I mostly stay out of that stuff, and I realized that I was just grateful at the end of the day. I'm like, you know what? I have a job right now, and that's like as much as I can ask for. So
Yeah. That's
yeah.
how it was whenever I went back because Fort Myers Beach pretty much, it didn't even make it till Memorial Day before it opened back up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of a relief. We were all so grateful to be back to work. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, people were tipping extra. They were very supportive. They knew that we were using 25 to 50% of the tables and occupancy, and they
Right.
made up for it. They really came out and supported us.
For sure, man. Yeah, it was a good time.
So, anything else you want to add? I know we still got to plug all of your available outlets for your music.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna be putting out a couple projects this year. Actually, tomorrow I kind of like dropped a surprise like announcement this morning that I'm going to be dropping a piano album tomorrow morning. Um, so I've been getting in the studio and recording like piano instrumentals on this really warm, uh, upright piano that my friend Caleb has in his studio, and it has like these recordings just turned out to be very meditative and like kind of and jazzy, but also they're just kind of like palate cleansing, like good soft piano music. So I do that stuff, and I love making that kind of music too. So that's actually going to come out tomorrow, and that'll be like the first of a couple volumes of that sort of thing. Um, and then I'll be dropping a sort of an R&B album in a couple months, hopefully, and then another songwriter project, kind of like Dominoes and Decisions, probably at the end of this year. So I'm just working out and just trying to work and put out as much music as I can, man. That's the goal.
So, is the new one going to be on Spotify as well?
Yep. It'll be everywhere. It's all uploaded and being distributed to Apple Music, Spotify. It's all professionally recorded. It's really good recordings. I think very like halfway between classical and jazz, something like that.
That's kind of the feeling I got from the last couple albums I listened to, the 2020 album and then the Dominoes and Decisions.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing more. What about your social media? Can people find you on there?
Yeah, you can find me at Cool Chords on Instagram, YouTube. I think it's Hunter McDaniel, and Cool Chords on TikTok. But mostly everything under, if you want to hear my albums, it'll be under my full name, Hunter McDaniel. And then
Okay.
Cool Chords is sort of like my brand, my handle.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Once again, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Of course. Yeah, great talking to you.
So we will end with that huge thank you. And for the audience, we're going to give them The Last Word Too by Hunter McDaniel.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, man. Thanks.
You too. You have a good one, bro.
Wheels hit the runway, wired and home. But you've had nothing to say, you're tired of your phone. And down there below me, I see shades all new. The future's unfolding, and I hope you like the truth. Remember the fight you won. You shouldn't have stayed. Hey. Across Tennessee Street, and every day, hey, yeah, you copied your room key and one for a friend. The mystery threw me a clue in the end. There's no waste in hiding what you didn't do, and I'll get the last word too. Indulge in the morning, refusing to see. Yeah. copied your room key and one for a friend. That whatever you hide just finds you in the end. I'm halfway to Austin, 'cause there's nothing there for you, and I'll get the last word too. I'll get the last word too. And down there below me, I see shades all new. The future's unfolding